Hello, dear friends. Are tyranny, torture, political prisoners, election fraud, bribery of Western politicians, and 8 million Venezuelans forced into exile all part of international law? It's only a question. Opinion piece. Mass destruction. A new era dawns. Storm over Caracas. Operation Judas Goat. The operation is not over. Gold and silver prices rise. Venezuelan currency VES rises. Let's start. Venezuela is a weapon of mass destruction, according to Benjamin Fulford. This show has captured the attention of news outlets and social media, but this has diverted attention from other historical events. There is also the possibility that we are witnessing a movie. He adds that what they should do now is pursue the villains of James Bond films, and the world would recognize them as heroes. He also reveals that the Bank for International Settlements is bankrupt. Judas Goat Operation. According to Susan Maresca, Nicolás Maduro was not captured in the conventional sense. He was not overthrown in a coup. He was extracted under fire by elite forces with his own consent. This was not theater. It was not a farce. It was a joint operation of violence and betrayal, in which Maduro became the scapegoat, leading his former prosecutors to the slaughter in exchange for survival, security, and status as a US-controlled agent. The storm over Caracas intensifies. The operation in Venezuela is not over. Ghost of Ezra emphasizes that the ground operations are not over. They are expanding as the White Hats continue to extract evidence of crimes. They continue to intervene in underground tunnels beneath Caracas and access encrypted servers in bunkers along the Orinoco River. Ground operations are expanding, including the exposure of laboratories near Margarita Island. According to Adama of Telos, a new era is dawning. From 2026 to 2030, you will be granted the ability to be present on the new ground. Many nations will be liberated in this era. The Tibetan people, the indigenous peoples, and the peoples of Africa. They will freely enter the new world, and those who controlled and repressed their light will be forced to leave. This era brings with it the new lawfulness present on this planet, just as it is already present on the enlightened planets parallel to ours. Understand that you are no longer isolated. You will see more and more presence of the infinite universe entering your light system, and more will be revealed to you. Therefore, human beings will choose the new life cycle and put an end to the frequency of killing and fighting. See the future being born. See beyond and dare to be the light that you are. Reset News. Has the world gone mad? Asks the prisoner. Blackouts in Argentina, Turkey, Russia, and Iran are White Hats operations, according to Rafabal. 4,400 Starlink satellites will be moved to the low Earth orbit to improve their security. The traditional banking system doesn't collapse spectacularly. It simply becomes irrelevant. The asset-backed economy is emerging. Central banks will gradually disappear as sovereign treasuries regain their issuing authority. Coalition sources confirm that the financial reset has been activated faster than the dark side could launch its planes. Iraq has revalued the dinar overnight, with exchange rates soaring beyond expectations, paving the way for Vietnamese dong, the Zimbabwean, and other currencies to follow suit. As pent-up resources are released, humanitarian projects will accelerate. People will regain their freedom of choice and economic mobility. This is not redistribution by force, but a restoration by correction. This is not mere financial reform, but a modernization of civilization. All banks' accounts worldwide have been mirrored from the old banking system to the new quantum financial system. According to Limerick, customers should not experience a loss of funds in the transfer process to the new system, although there may be a few days during the 10-day blackout period when banks are closed and ATMs are not working, so it is recommended to have cash on hand. Current events. Venezuelans around the world celebrate Maduro's capture. Venezuelans took to the streets in an enthusiastic celebration, rejoicing in their freedom. The Hands of Venezuela, in quotes, protest, held in New York, was organized by the People's Forum, an NGO that has received more than $20 million from a billionaire residing in China with ties to the CCP. Cancelled flights across the Caribbean resume. X22 report. Maduro will lead to evidence of election fraud. The question is whether Maduro will reach a deal to save his skin and reveal the truth. Maduro and his wife plead no guilty in a New York federal court. Maria Corina Machado thanks to Trump for his firmness and says Venezuela will be the main U.S. ally. Delcy Rodriguez is sworn as an interim president of Venezuela. We will lead Venezuela until a safe transition, says Trump. Trump said the U.S. will govern the country until we can make a safe, proper, and judicious transition following the regime change operation in Venezuela, in quotes. Trump puts three more countries on notice: Mexico, Colombia, and Cuba. Trump says Cuba is about to fall without Venezuelan oil. Trump threatens Petro that there could also be an intervention in Colombia. According to Lorenzo Z., we are not hearing the truth about Venezuela. The mainstream media had prior knowledge of the operation in Venezuela, but concealed their coverage. Alex Jones says the operation in Venezuela is a setup intended to force Maduro into a deal to expose electoral fraud and drug trafficking. Hugo Carvajal confessed that the voting machines were designed to commit fraud and that at least 60 senators have been bribed by the Venezuelan regime and were earning millions thanks to it. Economy. The Fed injects $4 billion into the banking system, according to Elena Petrova. Stocks, gold, and Bitcoin rise. Stocks rise as oil reserves increase. Maduro's fall triggers a surge in oil reserves. Precious metals rise due to geopolitical risks. Oil halts its decline and gold trades higher amid Venezuela. Brent crude oil falls below $60 a barrel for the first time in almost a month following the intervention in Venezuela. Oil tankers bound for China leave Venezuela waters. Chinese exports of electric vehicles are booming and there is no stopping them. Beijing wants babies, condoms and contraceptives hit with a double-digit tax to boost the birth rate. Gold rose as much as 2.1% on Monday, while silver gained nearly 5%. The silver price decoupling is becoming too big to ignore. The Venezuelan bolivar remains at 1/6 of its value at the beginning of 2025. In contrast, the Venezuelan currency, VES, known as the sovereign bolivar, is on the rise. Venezuela's location at the northern tip of South America, bordering important Caribbean shipping routes, affects trade and security throughout the Western Hemisphere. Venezuela will flood the world with oil after the end of Maduro's rule, but first it will endure a period of hardship. Switzerland blocks any assets of Nicolás Maduro as a precautionary measure. Trump's tactics with Venezuela test investors' appetite for geopolitical risk. Bitcoin reaches $93,000 as the cryptocurrency market extends its New Year's rally with $260 million in liquidations. 9.3 million Americans work multiple jobs to make ends meet. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.